be over shortly. He did say he'd be here. All right.
For the minutes.
Full meeting to order, and can we have the approval of minutes of January 9th? Second. He has a copy of it?
Yep, I second it also.
Okay. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Financial report, usually Gordon does this, but I'll do my best. So we have, so this is that our last meeting was January, so there's been a couple entries since then. We have January 31st, and I don't see any.
Yeah, the second one has
Okay,
February.
there it is. Yeah. It's January 31st and February 28th. So we have a starting balance of, on the 28th of February, $1,897,085.84. New funds for that month were $234,495. Interest earned, this is in the Chase bank account, $1,952.13. We have some expenses, and we have account transfers of $1,629,701.45.
There, I don't think there are any account transfers there. That's just the total is that.
That's the total, okay.
See, it's a blank.
Yep.
Blank.
Yeah.
Hey, Tim.
And then, hey, Tim.
Hi, Tim.
The New York class account, that's the one we get the large amount of interest in. We have a balance of $9,576,174.49. The interest earned for just for the month of February was $32,166.87.
That's nice.
Making the account at $9,608,341.36. QIP expenses for the month was $39. Payroll portion, $1,638.46. The total expenses was $1,677.46. The total in the bank is $11,238,042.81.
Well, maybe you don't know. They were going to transfer this whole thing over to another account, separated from the WQI. Do you know if that was done, Coco? They were going to transfer we were going to have our own account. The WQI was going to have its own account.
In QuickBooks.
Yeah.
That's correct. I created two companies in QuickBooks.
Is that what this is now?
Yes, and if you need a minute.
No, it was not just in QuickBooks. We were actually opening up separate bank accounts.
So that's my question. Is this separate now?
I don't know. We'd have to, Mallory, Shelby's out on maternity leave, so.
You're referring to the bank account? Yes, correct. It's a separate bank account also, BJ. I believe all the signatures are in. I'll double check today.
Okay,
I'm sorry, I
Coco.
misunderstood.
thank you.
Yeah, I think each property is going to have their own expenditure.
Correct.
In the future.
That's great.
Yeah. All right, in the next page is the total 2022 county revenues was $2,864,826.31, which is down considerably from the year before of $5+ million. Expenses for the year for QIP was is the actual QIP year to date, is that how much was removed from our account?
The 3,000?
No, the 572,965.
On the last page, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Because the expenses was 3,000, I'm sorry, that's 2023. The expenses was 153,458. So I think we deducted for 2022, 572,965.26. That's what we allowed. Right.
What is the Pridwin? I'm looking at the Suffolk County checks. We've got Deering Harbor, and we've got the Pridwin.
That was probably what they paid into the county. Their expenditure. But that, we received that,
Maybe when they bought it.
Okay, sorry.
and that was in 2021.
Cape May Resorts.
Yeah. Let's see.
I had never seen that before.
Well, it's kind of odd. It goes from a list of months and then it goes into locations.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I see Gary
That's what
Long.
it is.
Yeah. So the months, that's the actual, from the county, the checks that we received from the county for the town of Shelter Island. Then you have Daring Harbor, and then you have the Pridwin.
That means the money is coming from the county or,
That's what it says.
It's coming from the county. Why it's maybe because Pridwin is such a large amount, but they're putting that down as a
what?
location
Oh,
where
you
it
mean
came from.
when the new owners, that they had to pay the.
They had to pay
I
that,
got you.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's no, I've never seen it done. That's all.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is that's on there. So that's really it.
Yeah.
Okay. Is any questions on the financial report?
No, he just has here, cash available, 8.2 million. That's February. This one?
Right.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, so the actual cash available to CPF, $8,275,899.84.
Oh, so this, 10 million over here. Oh, this is February, sorry. Okay,
Yeah, it's missing a month.
yeah, okay.
We get a motion,
Second.
all in favor?
Okay.
For the West Neck Preserve, Tim, you have, so you got a bill from,
Yeah, apparently that has been submitted and approved,
yeah,
so I don't have to give, I have a copy here, I don't have to give this to any. Got it. The only thing I did talk to Rusty Schmidt from Nelson Pope last week. We're gonna get a draft of a preliminary plan shortly. Just to see that we're on the same page. Had a share it with the committee and walk them through it, but it's going to be really rough. And the only other thing is, I just want to reiterate to Jerry and Brian Sherman is Rusty would prefer that we not cut down vegetation that's there because you have overwintering bees inside the stalks. We would like us to.
Sorry, I can't, I'm sorry, Tim, can you speak
Oh,
up, please? I'm having trouble
yeah.
hearing
Yeah,
you.
where's the speaker?
I guess you don't have one directly in front of you.
Oh, okay, can you hear me now? DJ,
They don't move.
Oh, it's taped.
You want to
Yes,
sit in my chair? You want to sit in my chair?
can you hear me now?
yes, better.
Okay, good. I'll talk louder.
Okay.
We're going to, did you hear any of that? I'll start again. What did I say?
You're not awake yet, I know. I just,
For me.
me
I
too.
want to cut down the vegetation.
So the two things, one is we'll be getting a preliminary sort of rough draft of the plan for West Neck shortly. And the other thing is Jerry had emailed me 2 weeks ago about, she's seeing Brian to cut back the vegetation that's there. And Rusty would like us to wait because you have a lot of overwintering insects, small bees and other things inside the stems of the plants. And he would like us to wait at least until we have 50-degree days
That's good to know.
and 50-degree nights. And then once you sort of reach that temperature, the bees exit the stems and then we can cut it back.
Where will they
Have you
go?
told that, Tim, have you communicated that?
I did, I told Jerry and Brian initially at the time, but Rusty actually sent me a whole written explanation, which I'm going to forward to them.
Great.
So it comes from his mouth and not mine.
Does it explain other things one should and shouldn't do?
No, that was the one question I had for him right now.
Just saying for general knowledge, I never knew that.
I didn't either, actually, until actually a year ago, I was at a all-day seminar symposium, and a woman from Minnesota who's a bee expert spoke for an hour, and she mentioned that.
Wow.
So
Interesting.
Good to know.
Exactly.
Which stems are we talking about?
if you have like grass stems,
Oh, I have a lot of them.
goldenrod stems, and even, he said, non-native plant stems. So,
I leave them anyway till the spring, so.
if you have a garden, you have all these stems left over from last summer,
Oh, I do.
just leave them
Yeah,
until later. I mean, I normally start cutting things down like in a couple weeks.
me too.
So now I'm gonna wait.
Oh, okay.
Like hydrangeas or something like that, even, right?
I don't know. I can ask him about hydrangeas
Yeah.
and shrubs.
Just a project my wife's getting ready to do.
Anyway, that's all I got.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
It is.
Okay, thank you, Tim. The next is the white property is, they're working on the road, maybe. Coco, can you bring up those pictures?
I hope they make it wider. When I go there, I have to back out. You really can't turn your car around.
It's wider.
Is it?
Good.
Okay, so this is this is from Atlantic Road as you drive in there. They did make it a little wider, but I don't know how much wider you can go
Well,
without.
at least when you go in, well, they're gonna put a parking area, right? In the parking area, I probably could turn around. But
Yeah.
right now, it's not. It's just mud.
Yeah,
I almost got stuck.
there's 4 pictures.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, so that.
You can't turn
can see
around.
On the right side there.
That's the parking area right there?
No, that's the road.
On the right-hand side?
Well, they haven't cleared it yet.
That's where the parking area is,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, okay.
Yep.
And on the, can you go back to that picture?
Can we have that on a screen share so that we can see it on Zoom?
Can you see? Okay.
I do. Thank you very much.
We'll just start with photo 1.
That's from Mananic.
Wait, 1 second. This is photo 1.
Okay.
Photo 2.
So if you kept following that, that bulldozer around on the right side,
Yeah.
does the preserve go back around that way, or do you have to stay to the left where the road goes?
It goes that way.
It does go around that way?
Yeah.
They're gonna make a parking area with it. The bulldozer's been sitting there a while, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, yeah, you could just keep going. But they have, he's going to make a parking area. I forgot how big it is. See,
Is that artist, is that what they call artist lane now?
So,
Yes, I think so.
And, yeah, so
We
I
haven't
guess,
moved, on the screen, we haven't moved from the first picture showing the entrance.
you see that, Tui?
Oh, now I do. Okay.
Here we go.
it's not very wide. So if somebody's coming out, and somebody's coming, I mean, I don't think you're going to have a lot of that, but it's not two-way.
right,
I guess they can't make it wider, that you see the trees.
Stakes, I took a couple of pictures. I don't know if they're part of this. There were stakes on each side.
Yep.
Yeah, they took 'em out.
There's pink, painted stakes there.
I think they took them out.
Oh, there's still some in there.
So I didn't know if the road was going right up to the stakes.
Yeah. I think it is. Now, I don't know when this work was done or what the schedule to finish it is. I guess it was all weather depending, the road, yeah.
oh,
Aren't we having an opening? Do we have a date for that? An event?
No,
No.
we don't even have a sign yet.
This picture here is the pathway to the other preserve. That would be 8-9, going,
from the artist's road?
yeah, from the artist.
Isn't that somebody else's property?
That's, you can see the other people's property right there.
Right.
So, we have to make a trail on our property to get to, if we do want to have somewhat of a loop there.
Yeah. Yeah, but as far as I remembered, I thought our property ended before you could actually get to that.
There is markers on see those cedar trees there?
Yep.
There is markers. I don't know if they're old property markers or what they are, but looked like you could walk in that area right there.
You can, but we would need like a, public easement. So-
Yeah, I think we need to get something surveyed, including the Cackle Hill, to see the actual property markers, yeah. There was one more picture on that.
Yeah, I'm getting it now.
Okay, so this is what separates the two lots, is that body of water there. So we need to be able to figure out how to get from one to the other without crossing other properties.
Can you?
Great.
Can you? Can you?
You can, I know we had talked about at one time, even next week, putting the bridge.
Yeah,
across that.
yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. I've seen that in
Yeah.
many other.
Just a walk, yeah. I wonder how much,
There's one at Shomack that's great.
Yeah.
maybe we can talk to Fenora and ask him. When we talk about it, I'd love to do it.
Yeah, it'd be
We
nice.
have a rope bridge.
Yeah.
Hi.
And then we could have people swinging.
So, well, that's the work being done on the White property for now. And then if you want to, while we're at it, you want to go to the Cackle Hill, so we can look, see what the work was going on over there. So Cackle Hill was Brian Sherman. Joe and I met with Brian Sherman and we came up with a simple trail, simple loop. And Brian went in there and he kind of rough cutted everything. And so we do have access to get all the way to the back. Still needs to be cleaned up quite a bit. But so this is the entrance to Cackle Hill from Stearns Point Road.
I'll have to go. Hunting is over, isn't it?
Yes,
I don't know when do you know when hunting's over?
supposed to be over the end of February, no?
I saw somebody at Crab Creek and I kind of said, oh,
There's like different things that go on after hunting season. Some of it's for like nuisance and things like that. I really couldn't tell you specifically, but
They have to have signs up.
yeah.
Yeah, so this is some of the cutting that Brian's team had done, so everybody see that or?
So is there a loop now, Chuck?
Yeah.
Oh, great, have to
Yeah,
go up.
there's a little bit of a loop and we'll get to that in a second. So this is some of the rough cutting that he's done there so far. If you could see, in the way back, that is looking at a house over in the Terry Drive section over there.
That's the big house?
No, that would be the Terry Drive.
Oh, okay.
Section over there. Looking at,
Oh, I know.
you're not looking out at the bay yet.
Yeah, to the right, okay.
Right. Can you go to the next one? All right, so this is this was cleared out as you exit the woodsy area. And you could see the bay in the distance, okay? And then you will walk out from there and you'll be in a bit of a meadow behind the house, Prudence's house. You can go to the next one now.
So you actually walk down into a grassy area?
Yeah, but you're not walking very far because our property doesn't go on
Right.
that much of that per yard. So that's the view.
Yeah.
Cozy.
Yeah, great spot.
You hold that again? Oops.
The next one. There we
Okay,
go.
that one, just hold that for a second.
Can you enlarge that at all, or?
I didn't realize there was that meadow there.
Yeah.
I think she was mowing it, right?
So when you come out of the woods, this is the view you get before you go back in around a loop to go back to the origination.
It's nice.
It's pretty, I was just, yep.
Okay.
A nice meadow.
And just a note, so people know that there's been a lot of dumping going on this property.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, even like very recently too, because
yeah. We were there in the fall, and none of the dumping was
some of it was there, but not as much. But then next time we came back, it was like
So how do you stop that?
just brush and
We have to send them a letter.
yeah.
We'll have to send
But
them.
no, like it's not garbage.
It's not garbage, no. It's no,
brush.
yeah, brush and yeah.
Yeah. Go to the next one.
It's very rude.
And is there gonna be like a way to let people know, like, the reserve ends and private property?
Yeah, we need to actually mark, get a survey to see where our property markers actually are, because we weren't sure.
Yeah.
This is the loop here. We did. It's a half a mile loop.
And we can go much bigger too.
Yeah, see all that property there's quite a bit of property on the left side. Not all of that, because some of that is Proman's. there.
Oh, okay.
That's not our actual,
Yeah, if you were to follow Glen Road, if you kept going straight up, it would basically run into the border of that preserve.
yeah.
And there's a road that old road that's overgrown that we're going to try to open up at some point.
So this was the simplest way to get all the way to the back. We could have cleared out a little more, more to the left, but that would have been, quite a bit, it was heavily treed,
What's the 62 calories?
not gonna walk.
Faster.
If I ran it, it would be less time and more calories.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, so that's it. And as Joe mentioned, there was a lot of tree brush and stuff cut there from the owners, I guess, of the property. So,
There's no hunting in there, is there?
you know what?
There's no hunting in there.
Yeah.
There is?
Yeah. Almost every time I go in there, I see deer.
Well, that's the trouble, all these properties, you can't walk them in the winter. I mean,
Well, if you don't see a truck there, then nobody's hunting.
Yeah, it makes me nervous though.
Yeah, exactly. And what if you're in there and the truck arrives?
yeah, I've had that.
Something is set up.
They see your truck, then they won't go in.
I don't have a truck.
Or car.
It just makes me uneasy.
Yeah.
Well, in the summertime, it's very tick infested, so
Well, that's,
so many winters of opportunity.
So, anyway, that's the update on Cackle Hill and the White property.
that's fun.
So,
Very exciting about the property.
yeah, White property we could do a lot with.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that, you know, there is no hunting there yet, at least. I don't know if it was in the contract. I was gonna ask Gordon.
Oh, really?
So I've been in there. I mean, that's the only one I feel safe, and it's a great, great place to walk. But, I'm hoping maybe the town won't let them hunt there.
I don't think they can. I
don't know.
Good.
You know, they didn't want any cars, so,
Oh, is that right?
but I mean, you could still leave your truck and then walk around and hunt or whatever.
Right.
The next thing is so the acquisition plan, Coco made up the plan here, so please take this back with you and review it. And BJ sent an email that had the updates in the email. And we're going to discuss this at the April 17th meeting.
You know, since it's not, usually, you know, you
Okay.
underline what's new
It's
or change.
highlighted, isn't it? The
No, I
yellow?
just asked her. There's other things that she wanted us to concentrate on
And
those,
it's not
but,
highlighted?
so,
In the email, it's the
She
new
describes?
points of, yeah.
no,
points
the
of-
one she wants you to,
BJ had a few that she mentioned. I think.
yes, but I mean, there might be other changes, and
Right.
usually you highlight it
No, I
somewhere. so
agree.
Now you have to compare it.
Yeah, I mean, it has the targeted properties, which some have changed since our last document of targeted properties. Either they were sold or we've already purchased.
Or they don't want to be bought.
That too.
And then are these updated, are these properties?
It should be. Yeah,
Because I know the book I had was really outdated, some of the.
yeah, it was. Targeted properties are off the table right now, or
Yes, we're gone.
yeah. Tui, do you want to give us a update on the QIP? Tui?
Yes, there's a few things happening that the WQI recommended to the town board that we support the Cornell Cooperative Extension efforts to put an oyster reef and do other extensive shellfish restoration and eelgrass restoration, primarily focusing on Cockles Harbor at the moment, which is an extension of what began in Dickerson Creek last year with the flupsies to grow the spat. So we have made that recommendation. And there's also been an approval on the committee's part for funding for the initial research phase of the fresh pond restoration. Additionally, the town has set a very vigorous goal for WQI to attempt to get as many as 50 new applications in the pipeline for the coming year, which is quite ambitious. But the committee, a subcommittee, is hard at work trying to figure out how to streamline the actual application process and evaluate whether or not the decrease in the funding that has been offered is a stumbling block to some folks initiating the projects. And then further, we're trying to figure out whether or not it's possible in an instance where there's a financial need to do a loan for people to do the initial work. In other words, you have to hire an engineer. There used to be a water testing requirement. And I think that's going to be waived as well. So we're trying to streamline the process, make it easier, figure out more ways to get folks to be active, and of course, including some kind of an educational and perhaps advertising campaign to get more folks on board.
But what about, Tui, what about grants for people, for example, in the center that might not be able to afford it, but it's the area that it should be done the most?
Well, that's exactly what we're saying. We're trying to streamline the process and get it moving and make it easier for folks.
easier
And
isn't
also,
cheaper.
excuse me?
Easier isn't cheaper. Expensive.
No, it is, and
Grants.
that's why we're reevaluating whether or not the grant amount should be raised.
Good, okay.
The town, we lowered it when, at the onset of the COVID, assuming that we were gonna have less money coming in. The amount was lowered. Also, it seemed that the average expense for folks doing it after they got the state and the town, the average expense was around 6,000. So that's where that number was picked. But there's a consideration to raise that for folks where it becomes more expensive. You being one of them, Kathleen, I believe.
Mine was a lot more expensive.
Mine was too,
So
33,000.
Mine was about.
yeah. So
And
and we need to take some of that into consideration. BJ, did I cover everything?
You did. I just wanted to put a little context on the 50 goal, the goal of 50. Yeah, it is ambitious, but it would be great if we could do that
Well, absolutely.
with especially some concentration in the center, because we could actually maybe start to reverse the nitrogen buildup. So the nitrate buildup. So that would be terrific. But it's in the context of your plan, the plan for the CPF acquisition plan.
Right.
That is in Appendix F of the plan, which is a new appendix that speaks specifically to the plans for WQI funds. So that had come up. Gordon had mentioned that, Fred Thiel had mentioned that, we really should have and it's in the legislation to have a plan. So when you're reviewing your, the overall CPF plan, Appendix F gives you kind of the information. And at the last WQI meeting, we went over the suggested programs for the next 5 years. And there was some great feedback from the committee. I haven't made those changes yet to Appendix F, but the gist of it's still the same.
Is that 1.5 applications or 5.0 applications?
5-0.
5-0.
And yes, I agree also about the center.
Yeah. Not to say that
Absolutely.
the edges aren't important, or
No,
anybody.
I know that,
Yeah.
but really targeting the areas that need it the most.
Yeah. Yeah. They have had a triangle for quite some time overlaid the center
Yes.
spine of Shelter Island.
Yes, because I was on the WQI one. That triangle was,
So this 50 applications is it in this area that you're looking?
Well, we're anywhere on Shelter Island.
Anywhere.
Not only in the center. The other thing we're having some discussion about is to get some actual assistance with
Paperwork.
helping folks do the paperwork, even though we're going to try to simplify it. For some folks, it's still complicated, or they're just not interested in going through all the aggravation of the county and the state process and monitoring and et cetera, et cetera. So we're trying to figure out a way, if there's a way to assist with that as well. Because it's cumbersome, it's difficult, as you two know, or whoever else on the committee has done it. It's just a cumbersome, difficult process. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, and some folks just don't want to do it. And the other thing that we just did discuss, we're trying to figure out a way to determine how many folks have outdated septic systems, which by definition would automatically make them a failed system. If you have a block cesspool, it's a failed system automatically, which does simplify the process for some people. And a lot of people don't know that they have antiquated, inadequate systems, because unless it's bubbling up on the lawn or backing up in the house, you just don't think about it. So there was some research done, I think, by Cronin. John Cronin had some intern working with him, trying to do some assessment of this. So we're going to try to pull that up and see if we can use that as another tool to get this moving.
I think that goes back to 2015,
It does.
so it's kind of old.
Well, okay, so somebody may have updated their system in the meantime, but at least it gives you a reference point to start with, and maybe it could be repeated with another intern.
Tui,
Yes.
I will volunteer to help people fill out the forms.
Okay.
I think it's helpful to have kind of a workshop. There's also, I forgot, there was, you could get a $10,000 loan. I forgot, because I applied for it just for the hell of it.
Ah.
And I didn't use it, so I gave it up. But you can get a loan, it's community something. In other words, if you have to put out money up front in the process, you could use that. So there's money. I don't know if they're still doing it.
If you can find the specifics on that, Kathy,
Yeah.
and send them to me, that would be helpful. I'll bring it up with the committee the next time we meet.
Forgot what it's called. I didn't keep the whole file on my.
Kathy, is it CDC Long Island? Does that sound familiar?
Kind
Community
of.
development?
Yeah,
I think it's a private entity.
that might be it. Well, anyway,
I don't know if they're still doing it, but I mean, I didn't need I paid it out of my pocket. And I'm getting a refund for all the taxes I paid. I paid about $5,000 in taxes.
Which was really annoying.
And now I had a,
Income tax?
yeah.
Yeah, because we were told that you weren't going to have to pay income tax, and the Republican that came in said, yes, you are, because he
Mr. Kennedy, I remember his
had the
name.
idea that this was happening, so then we had to pay income tax, and then we got it back when the Democrats came in.
Tui, is that logjam been removed from the county? I know it was with the health department, I think it was a logjam between the health department with the applications process.
still
or-
taking,
It's
still taking a bit of,
forever.
yeah.
It's forever. And then
They're
I'm sure
just-
it was multiply complicated by the
Hack.
cyber attack. So, I mean, that, that's any excuse to not work, and it's a perfect day.
Oh, does anybody know if the Suffolk County site is back up and running, or is that still down?
I tried the GIS and
It's not good. Yeah, that's.
Coco, do you know anything about that?
Yes, they do have now the Reclaim Our Water application. Now you can apply online. So I updated our website with their new website links.
Link.
So you can go onto our site and it will take you to their site.
Okay. Because I know the GIS portion was not open for the Suffolk County property maps. Anyway. All righty, thank you, Tui.
You're welcome.
Does anyone have any old business, new business, or people from the audience? Do you have anything to add?
I have a question. I don't remember January 9th, new business, monitor trees on 114 regarding spraying. Does anybody remember what that
Is
was?
that in the minutes?
It is. Yeah.
What are you looking at?
On January,
On this one?
on January 9th,
What's the
the
number?
very bottom says new business, number 13.
Monitor trees on 114 spring.
Tim, that was your,
Which one? The monitor.
something about the trees on 114. Did I miss?
Yeah, I just don't remember what that was, spraying,
Monitor the
monitor the beech leaf disease.
I can't recall.
Okay.
Sure, I know that the other one, the app, I had asked Kevin Lukniewski about combining a GIS map with our walking trails, and he was gonna look into that, but it didn't seem very, it sounded like something more of a program had to come up with.
Oh, you know what? That would be great because the app, because with Friends of Trees, I want to embark on getting the Heritage Tree program, which is currently, or list, which is currently on a piece of paper. I want to transfer it as a layer to the GIS map. And it would be a great way to combine that with trees that are on some of the preserves.
It's a big job.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's a big job, I say.
You know what, maybe, I mean, I did speak with Kevin Lukmansky about this, and he said that it's, there's several, walking apps, that like, one I just used for Capitol Hill. That one, and, Stravo is another one. I know.
Okay.
But Kevin said it was something that, it was the app maker, I guess themselves, that would have to, incorporate, installing ArcGIS with their program, I think.
So I've been talking to the company that now oversees our GIS system. And I'm gonna do a trial thing with him, with 20 trees, but then once we figure out how to do it, Goal's gonna get volunteers to go out with their phones and get the GPS locations of the trees that we're interested in.
Okay.
Then you put the whole thing in an Excel sheet, and then they just take it and put the whole thing in the GIS program. But we could maybe customize it for, well, we could verify voice.
If you can customize it for, all of our properties, because
Yeah.
when we walk the properties, we don't know sometimes if we're walking on our property or someone else's. And it'd be good to actually map out a trail that we think could be a trail if we know for sure we're not gonna be encroaching on somebody else's property.
Right. Then Gordon and I just talked at different times about, like, for people on the trail to recognize certain trees, you have to put markers on the trees, you actually with an app kind of
Right.
figure out something about the tree. Anyway, it's a work in progress. Who would know about the spraying? I just have no recollection.
They're not spraying, are they?
I don't know, it says monitor trees on Route 114 regarding spraying.
Do you want to eliminate that just for clearance?
Well, I don't know, unless anybody remembers what it is.
No, I mean,
I can't recall.
I can ask Gordon.
it's 2 months ago. I don't know what I had for breakfast, which I haven't eaten breakfast, actually.
I'll meet up Gordon after the meeting, and just ask him, and then if nobody can remember.
I know.
We'll get rid of it.
Okay. But we already voted, Tim. We already
Yeah, I
accepted.
know.
I'm kidding.
Okay.
Where's-
Does anyone from the audience have anything to add? I see Karen Hoag, Pam Demarest, Liz Tedford, Stephen Jacobs, Julie, Lori, and who's the other one? KT.
That's me.
That's Coco, isn't it? KT?
Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
They may be here for the executive session.
So we can close
Yeah.
at 9:16.
Close this meeting then.
Spraying, instead of somebody says spray. Spraying what kind of spray it
Oh,
is.
sure.
So I just think,
Yeah. Hey,
Just a minute, so we still have, Julie May has to get off. Thanks, Julie. Okay, so right now we're going into executive session. We have BJ, Karen. I'm gonna lock the meeting.